Kalen DeBoer addressed the media after practice today following an embarrassing meltdown against FSU. Here's what he had to say. Let's talk about it. This is Way Offsides. 3, 2, let's go. Hey, Bama fans, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Way Offsides, fresh off a disastrous opener, the first opener Alabama's lost in over 20 years. Kalen DeBoer spoke to the media today after practice, and he had a lot to say. Some of it sketchy, some of it bumbling, some of it just absolutely asinine, and we're going to talk about that today. Leave a big roll tide in the comment section below, no matter what happens. We're still Bama fans. Leave a big roll tide in the comment section below while you're there. Like, subscribe, do all the things. You know what I need you to do. Just do that. We're going to talk about this. We're going to do a bigger video on this later today with the whole cast, kind of sit down, talk about it. But I just wanted to touch base on this really quick and get this up. Kalen DeBoer, first and foremost, was asked specifically about him hyping up practice leading up into FSU week. And his response, his answer was not comforting at all. It was him being confused. I personally think he panicked a little bit, to be honest with you, but he was confused by the question. Oh, you mean this week? No, there was nothing to be confused about. I don't think he knew how to answer the question. He was buying himself some time to come up with the response. It was a bad look, no matter what it was. And I don't want to be hard on the dude. I want to be fair, but there were some things that were said today that are really just aggravating me, especially Kane Womack. We'll talk about that later on tonight. Make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell so you don't miss that video. But in terms of Kalen DeBoer, the head coach of Alabama, and what he had to say regarding the Tide and what they did, he didn't really give an explanation. He made it clear that they weren't caught off guard. They weren't surprised. I tried to find some reason to give them the benefit of the doubt. And if that's the case, then that means that they just were underprepared. He acknowledged that this was a big, a big intensity issue, effort issue. We already knew that. And fans are tired, man. Like, this is disgusting. The meltdown from the fans is in a way justified. Yes, there are some fans who go overboard, but the meltdown from top to bottom in Tuscaloosa is something else. It is a culture problem. We know this is a talented roster. We understand that. We've seen the recruiting classes. There's still dudes on this roster who Nick Saban recruited. There's still dudes on this roster that played under Nick Saban, a couple. But what are you doing? What are you going to do about it? That's what fans want to hear. They don't want to hear the excuses. They don't want to hear this and that. He says that he understands what they walked into in Tuscaloosa. He understands it. If you understand it, why are you allowing what's happening to happen? He said, there's no more learning moments anymore. That season is gone. The season of getting accustomed and learning how to be the head coach at Alabama and how to handle the personnel and how to handle the crossover from Nick Saban, that's gone. So what is the excuse? What happened? Because if it is an effort or an intensity issue, why do your players feel like they can do that? Why do guys feel like they can take a play off? And if they do feel that way, and they do it live in a game and it bites them in the tail, just like it did in Tallahassee, why are they going to be the starters next week? You've got a perfect opportunity in front of you to take the next 3 weeks against what should be inferior opponents, but I'm not counting anybody out anymore, to get better, figure your personnel out, play the dudes that want to be there. And instead you're up there talking about we know. And kudos to the media. I posted a video this morning challenging the media to not hold back and ask real questions that need to be asked. And they did. They did. I don't know who asked the question about Kalen DeBoer commenting on practice and how it was a great week, but whoever did that, kudos to you, because he tried to backtrack and you didn't let him. He tried to go, oh, this week. You mean this week? No, I mean last week. You said leading into FSU, it was a great week of practice. And I know some of y'all are getting mad at the content creators and the writers and the people who are, putting out content for you every day. Well, you said this, you said that. We said it because we were told that by Kalen DeBoer. Be mad at him. That's who lied to you. Alabama has a serious culture problem on their hands. It's not fixable. It is 100% fixable, but the faith in the staff is wavering quickly. The foundational ethos that made Alabama so good under Nick Saban are quickly crumbling away and cracked. How do you repair that? That's what everybody wants to know. That's what you should be addressing. This West Coast, let me hold your hand style of coaching is not going to work in the SEC, man. It doesn't work in the SEC. It's not going to work in the Big Ten. You have to get out there and light a fire under somebody. When are you going to do that? Kudos to Kane Womack for acknowledging that the coaches did not bring the intensity they needed on the sideline. At least he said it. He owned it. As far as I've seen so far, Kalen DeBoer did not. And that starts with him. Maybe Kane Womack will take some initiative and be more animated and demanding on the sideline. The demand. What does demand do? It creates product. If you want something bad enough, somebody somewhere is going to create it. Where's the demand? Where's the demand for a higher level of excellence, for a higher level of play? Where is that? Like, we can't place all the blame on Kalen DeBoer. Nick Saban came out himself before he retired and discussed how they had to adjust how they were handling certain teams because they were too fragile. They would crack. Maybe that's what Kalen DeBoer is trying to do. But the soft product that you're putting on the field is going to get your head put on a platter by the fan base. They're not going to stand for that. I'll go ahead and tell you, the minute it impacts recruiting, you're in the water, man. You are in the water. You got to figure it out. Again, you have a perfect opportunity to still have a storybook season. Everything is in front of you. You've got the next 3 weeks to get it figured out. Explain FSU away all you want to, but the fans better see something different. You better beat ULM by 60. Keelan Russell better play. Austin Mack better play. This ridiculous defense that Kane Womack's trying, stand up and say, hey, it's obviously not working. Hey, we're going to play 5 or 6 running quarterbacks this season. We have to do something different. We need to adjust. No, it's not just because Tim Keenan was out. It's not just because Deontay Lawson is not 100%. We've all seen it. It's all over the place. It was effort. Dudes got punched in the mouth and bailed on their jobs. There was no pride in it. And that's not NIL. I get it. A lot of people are blaming that on money. Chris blames it on money. I disagree. It's got nothing to do with NIL. Some of them. But the majority, I mean, you go look at these other schools that are paying players. FSU is a NIL primary school. That's their primary recruiting tool. They took pride in what they did Saturday. With a bunch of dudes that didn't commit there, didn't start their college careers there. You've got the opportunity to fix it. The fan base, the media, everybody is telling you what needs to change. Are you going to listen? He hinted that this isn't going to be the best week of practice for these kids. But those are words, man. Tell us what you're going to do to fix it. The fan base has no faith in you. That the only way that the Alabama fan base is not going to continue a meltdown against you is if you come out, spoon feed it to us. This is what we're going to do to fix this. We understand that this is the standard and we are going to get it right. Here's how. That is the only way. The rest of us who are still trying, because you are our head coach, and out of reverence for that position, the rest of us who are still trying to hold on won't fall off the boat. What are you going to do? Words aren't enough anymore, man. We've heard enough of that. Tell me what you think, guys. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. For those of you, like I said, we're going to do a full breakdown of what Ryan Grubb said, what Kane Womack said, everything Kalen DeBoer said, and figure out if they can right this ship today. And then we'll start previewing ULM, what needs to change for the Tide moving forward, and how Alabama can still salvage what's in front of them, because they can. They have the talent to do it. There's no excuse there. The coaching staff has to make a decision. As always, say your prayers, read your Bibles, wash your hands, horns down. Beat Auburn and LSU and Tennessee too. Roll Tide.